Do you ever have one of those moments where a brand you worked with before suddenly just emails you out of nowhere? Well, yeah, that actually just happened. To say the least, I was genuinely shocked when Mono slid into my inbox and said, "Hey, we really like what you're doing. You want to run it back?" And okay, maybe they didn't say that exactly, but it was pretty close. So today they actually sent over the brand new Mono PD200W, which is a bit of a mouthful, but that is actually not the craziest part. What's crazy is this video is actually going live on launch day. But just a quick disclaimer, Mono did send this mic out for free, but as always, they don't get to see this video before you do, and everything I say here is my own and honest take. So with that, let's take it away. Now, if that name does sound a little bit familiar, it's because this is basically the glow up version of the Mono PD200X, which has the same general design, same great sound profile, but that little W on the end, well, that actually stands for wireless. At least I think it does. If it doesn't, it definitely does now. And for anyone that is new to the brand, the formal pronunciation is mono, like mono versus stereo, not mayo, not mayano, just mono. Simply put, the PD200W Hybrid, as the name implies, is a dynamic hybrid microphone, which means you can also record in the old school way using XLR, or you can plug this directly into your computer via USB-C. But where things get really interesting and a little wild is actually the wireless functionality, because yes, this thing can connect completely cable-free using Mono's new USB-C transmitter. And there are also Lightning and 3.5 millimeter receiver versions if you're on an iPhone or if you want an analog connection. But today, for the sake of this review, I will be testing out the USB-C model. Here's the cool part. The USB-C receiver can actually support two separate audio tracks, meaning if you do pick up a second one of these, you can record yourself and you can record a guest without running all of the extra cables. That means that this pretty much is the perfect setup if you are podcasting, doing interviews, or maybe you're finally convincing that friend to finally start their YouTube channel that they won't stop talking about. You know who you are, and I know that you're watching this. So, in theory, you can podcast from your couch, your car, or even your kitchen table, though I wouldn't recommend trying all three at once as you might stretch yourself a little bit thin. All right, here's what you can actually expect to see in the box. Obviously, the microphone itself, which is already installed in the included shock mount, a sturdy, height adjustable desktop stand, a USB-C to USB-C cable for connecting to your recording device, which also has an included USB-A adapter on one end, and then there's another USB-C port cable extender thing to USB-A. Presumably, it's for extending the receiver. Oh, and yeah, speaking of the receiver, there's also that special USB-C wireless receiver that I'm actually using right now. And of course, they did throw in some extra rubber bands for the shock mount, so thanks, Mono. See, there's no fluff, no gimmicks. You just get everything you need to go for a wired or wireless connection right out of the box. Well, provided that you do have an XLR cable, and frankly, those are pretty cheap. But let's talk about build quality for a second, because honestly, I think it's pretty great. The PD200W Hybrid features what appears to be a fully metal body, so it's got a little bit of weight to it, adding for more of a premium feel. On the front size, you will find an oversized 30 millimeter capsule covered in a protective honeycomb mesh grill, which is typically hidden behind the removable foam pop filter. Then on the top, you've got Mono's signature gain knob, which actually doubles as a headphone monitoring volume control, especially when you're connected via USB-C, and there's also a dedicated mute button. But flip it around to the back, or technically the base, and you'll find your different ports: USB-C, XLR, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, as well as a power button. It's not that traditional in your face gamer RGB look either. It's more of like the subtle, I have taste look. I don't know. You can pick between 8 different preset colors, or you can set it to full on rainbow flow mode. And yeah, I clearly have no clue what I'm talking about because that is not the technical color, and I don't know what is. But none of that's actually the main headline. The real star here is the wireless mode, hence hybrid in the name. Mono claims a 60-meter transmission range, which is roughly equivalent to about 200 feet and up to 60 hours of battery life. Now, I don't know who's podcasting for 60 hours straight or why you would ever need to be 200 feet away from your webcam, but hey, it's nice to know it can do it, especially if you needed to. And the best part, you actually don't need to run phantom power to the mic because all you have to do is actually power the mic on, connect it either wired or wirelessly, and you're pretty much ready to record. It doesn't get much simpler than this. The microphone also transmits audio in 24-bit, 48 kilohertz, so even when you're using it wirelessly, you're still getting high quality sound that's crisp and detailed enough for streaming, podcasts, or even voiceovers. And if you want to take things a little bit further, Mono supports this mic through their MonoLink app, which is available both on desktop and mobile devices. Now, while specs are fun and all, let's hear what it actually sounds like in the different modes. So I'm going to go ahead and put it through all 3 different setups: XLR based, USB USB-C wired to my computer, and of course, wireless mode, including the USB-C receiver. So let's get into that and I'll let your ears do the judging. Now, up until this point, I have been using the USB-C wireless receiver for all of the recording of this video. However, this is going to be the baseline of how that sounds, and we're going to use this same verse. That way, there's a little bit of consistency throughout this test. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And now we are using the USB-C cable powered directly to my computer. So it should sound probably the same, but if there's a difference, you let me know. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And let me just start by saying that this is not the right setup to be using. However, I am using the XLR output, and that is actually powered directly into the Comica 82, which I've covered in a couple of other videos, and that is plugged directly into my camera. So here's how that sounds. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Which mode do you think sounds the best, or could you even tell? I'd have to say, overall, I've been pretty impressed with the quality of this microphone. The Maono PD200W isn't trying to reinvent the wheel, it's just trying to make it a little bit easier to roll around. You can grab the standard USB-C desktop version, which we've covered today, for as low as $99, and Maono will also be releasing additional variations of the other different receiver and mount types. That way you can dial this in and best fit you and your recording needs, which I'll go ahead and link all of that below. Honestly, this puts the PD200W in line with, if not higher than, some other mics like the Fifine K688, or even, to my biggest surprise, the Rode PodMic, which of course, this one has the added bonus of being cable-free, recording two voices at once, and fine-tuning your sound all through the app. Some of these are features that neither of those two even offer. That's a wrap on the Maono PD200W Hybrid, which again is officially out today. If you do want something that is plug and play, flexible, and genuinely built for creators, this might be the one to be. And if you've made it this far, drop a comment and let me know how you would use a wireless mic like this, whether it's podcasting or streaming, or maybe you're conducting Zoom interviews, or maybe you record voiceovers for popcorn reviews, but I'm not here to judge. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and as always, thank y'all for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Hey, I used the right hand this time.